Okay, are we back? Let's see. Okay. Alright, so I am seeing we're live again. I don't know what the fuck is going on at this point. So yeah, this is kind of annoying. I think we're back, right? There we go.
Clementine's my responsibility. Can't ask any of you.
Hopefully the stream holds this time. I don't fucking know. Whatever. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. So I think I was just like. So okay. So yeah, the stream crashed. Obviously, I tried to come back. It crashed again. Then I think I thought it came, like, it told me I was live again, but then, like, I checked it and it turned out I wasn't live. So I, like, streamed for a couple of minutes thinking I was live, but I wasn't. And then now here we are. Now I'm actually seeing we're back, but still, like, yeah. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Hopefully the internet stays stable here again. Like, it's been a while since stream crashed. It's been like a month. So again, annoying that's like coming back.
Kitty, man, I'm begging you here. I can't do this alone.
The instability's coming back, but whatever.
Lee, I know you had my back when we first teamed up.
Oh fuck, is he not gonna side with us?
Ever since then.
No. Fucked up with Kenny.
But you're on your own on this one.
Oh fuck you, Kenny.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, Ben goes with you anyway, right? He only doesn't go if you oh no, or you could tell him to stay with Clementine, right?
Can't make that decision for you, Ben.
Oh no, Clementine's gone. Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, no, I talked about the Graham thing. I think that was when the stream was actually down, right? I don't remember. Well, anyway, but no, I don't really knock Graham for the actual plurality vote itself, but more so the situation of him getting to the end of Cebu to begin with.
Or at least until nightfall.
You're still gonna take me, even Ben.
Because, like, realistically, he had those 4 votes locked against anybody. Was it 4 votes? I don't remember. Anyway, Althoff, Moira, Cornet, and then there was one other person, right? David. That was for the 4 that that were locked for Graham no matter what. And you really just needed... Actually, really, I mean, that was enough, right? Because, like, Sivu and Boulay were always going to split votes. So it's like, really, that was enough to win anyway. But, yeah, it is definitely a wonky situation that is propelled by the fact that he was at the end with Sivu, who is the next biggest jury threat. And realistically, he just shouldn't have gotten to the end of Sivu, which he could have stopped, but he had a bit of a misread at the end of exactly where all the votes were going.
Looks like they got out of here in a hurry.
Vernon, get out here! There doesn't have to be any trouble here. All I want is the girl.
Oh yeah, it was definitely Deb that the Deb stands that ruined everything with the stream. If it wasn't for them, the stream would be perfect. I'm getting a bit worried that it's buffering on my end. Whatever. Hopefully everything's fine. Well, I think of Jeff Kent as a player. I think he's a solid player. Like didn't manage his threat level that well. Also, I think like him being so like focused in on taking out Penner was bad. But I think like outside of that, pretty solid player. Best look? What is this? It's from X-Men.
Are you all right?
Who's more forgettable, Sylvia or Molly?
Vernon, you son of a bitch!
In terms of what?
Hello, Lee.
And which Sylvia and which Molly? Oh wait, I wasn't even paying attention.
Put Clementine back on. I want to talk to her.
This isn't Vernon. Whatever.
Clementine's fine.
Oh yeah, you did change your name, didn't
How are
you?
you?
I didn't even fucking notice it until you said it. Okay, Sylvia from Fiji or Molly from IOI. I would say Molly from IOI is more forgettable to me. God damn it, I missed the button prompt. Whatever. But yeah, I would say Molly is more forgettable to me. Where, I think the only reason Molly's, like, somewhat notable at this point is because, like, she was not on that long ago. Okay, so I got everyone but Kenny. So that's annoying. Alright, whatever. And for me, Sylvia, like, I've always remembered, like, Sylvia as a, like, a bit more of a, like, humorous, figure from earlier seasons. With her, was it talking like an architect or whatever? And, like, her saying, like words that Rocky doesn't know. Oh, yeah, I can skip this. Anyway, like, from, TEOS, like, they talk a lot about Sylvia. And, like, her, like, singing and stuff and everything. So it's like, I don't know. For some reason, Sylvia's, like, more memorable to me than Molly.
Previously on the Walking
thoughts on 41? I mean, like,
home and I'm not there.
I think again, 41's a very complicated season because I think if we take the events of the season on paper, I think it is still where I had it before, which is like upper middle tier, bottom top tier. I think the problem is the presentation, particularly in like how much time is focused around advantages and explaining twists and
Clementine?
and I feel like the cast isn't utilized as well as it should have been. I feel like that is my issue 41. Where again, like I think from like everything outside of presentation / editing, I think 41 is a better season than 42.
Yeah.
I think the more and more time goes on, like the more and more I don't think I like Survivor 42 that much. I really feel like the main thing that is like propping it up is the fact that it is like a very balanced edit, and it is an edit that's allowing its cast to shine more than your typical, especially like 41, but probably like even more than your typical Survivor cast. But like in general, like I do feel like 41 like is a better season in terms of like I think it had more interesting vote offs. I actually think the cast of 41 and 42 are not that dissimilar, and actually I think probably 41 has like higher highs in its cast to me than 42. I just don't think I don't think the editing serves them that well. Final 7 episode of 41 was horrible. I mean, it was like kind of whatever, but also it's like we're not even at the final 7 of 42. For all we know, final 7 episode 42 is really terrible too. Again, we know Do or Die is coming back. Mike. But either way, we know Do or Die is coming back, so I mean, it could be worse.
Fucking dead.
Why I like Jackie from BB5? She's hot. I realistically, I don't know. I always like Jackie as like kind of a, like not necessarily like an underdog, but more so like the fact that she couldn't get her way at any point, like the fact that she was always on the bottom, and like every single time she thought she was gonna make it, like she made an alliance, that alliance like turned their back on her like immediately afterwards. So and then also like her fights with Aika and everything.
We're going to need to hurry.
Yeah, I always found Jackie like a interesting character. Was 22 Kaser the most shocked I've been that someone returned to TV? Probably not the most shocked, I wouldn't think. But I definitely shocked.
Wasn't a full
I think the most shocked, like I think Ethan is up there.
We don't have a lot of time.
Ethan coming back to Winners at War, I think to me is more shocking than Kaser.
We're about to have a lot less.
But I think Kaser's probably one of the most surreal ones, though.
Lee, find a way out of here.
Where I think, like, seeing Kaser come back was, like, the, was probably like the one that I legitimately like, couldn't believe. Like even though I think like realistically I thought it was probably a better chance than like certain other returns. I just think it was like just thinking that we have Janelle and Kaser back on Big Brother at this point. That was kind of insane. Has Josh turned on Kevin?
Looks like a
not fully, right? But like I definitely kind of considering it, or like kind of like not considering it, but kind of like unsure of Kevin at this point. Yeah, Betty is a front runner. Again, right now, I think the three most likely to win a jury vote are Betty, Kevin, and Jace. And I also would be like, I'll be fine if anyone but Jace won. Like, Jace would for sure be the worst outcome for the season to me. Beyond that, like, I feel like a Josh win would also, like, not be super satisfying, but, like, not bad. Like, it would be fine. But, like I feel like, again, Kevin and Helena to me, Kevin is the for sure number one. Like, Kevin winning would be the most satisfying outcome. Helena winning would be satisfying in the fact that I don't think she can win now unless she goes, like, all out in the next couple rounds. And if she were to do that and win, then it would be interesting. Like, if she were to cut Kevin at 4, and then, like, somehow beat Betty or Jace, or even Josh, I feel like that would still be a satisfying conclusion. And then Betty, I think it's more of, like, a humor thing, where, like, again, Betty winning Big Brother would just be funny. Didn't play the best game. Would be very low on a player in a winner ranking.
You got any better
but
ideas?
it'd be funny.
Okay.
It'd be fun if she won.
It's now or never.
So at least there's that.
He's awake. He's awake.
Betty versus Tara.
Still got to do something.
Again, like I both had them at the bottom of my player rank.
We're
Our
trying
power
to save
ranking.
him. At the very least, buy him some time.
I mean, I do feel like Tara.
Of course
I
not.
don't know. Like Tara is someone that like probably
gonna be a
wins against
shitload of
anybody
blood.
but Kiefer.
What if he dies?
Then the rest of us go after
So I mean,
Clementine
which is
and
like
get
I
the
don't think
hell
that's
out of
necessarily the
there.
case that Betty is in.
Chance they
So like,
save
I
his
guess
life.
like
We have to take
Tara
it.
is like kind of better, and that's like, God damn it, I'm not even like I keep on missing button prompts because I'm not even looking at the screen. Yeah, cut it off.
Fuck it. Cut it off.
Seriously.
Yeah, I think the more time goes on, though, I think Betty might be turning into like one of my favorite BBCAN characters.
Fuck this. Fuck.
Just because like she is such a like,
Do it.
it's just ridiculous that someone like Betty is actually doing well in the game at this point.
I'll go as fast as I can.
Did Billy ever trust Ozzy? No.
You got
Or at least from what we're shown,
Try
at
to
least,
stay
no.
still.
Stop!
I can't. Hold on.
Okay, this is actually really starving to listen to, like, a headset on and everything. Yeah, that's lovely. Alright, so we've been back for 13 minutes now. So, hopefully stream stays stable. Yeah, I really thought my internet was being, like, it's been pretty good recently. It's just annoying that, like, all of a sudden stream just crashes. And I actually have trouble getting it back up. Well, whatever. Yeah, we had the I do hate you moment. We have Kevin, like, telling her, you called me a terrible person. And then she says, like, I meant it or whatever. Yeah, there's some great stuff.
Yeah.
The elevator's open. Let's go.
Yeah, that should be, like, Nicole Franzel?
I'll bring up the
That's
reason.
never the vibe I got from Betty. I think, like, the first, like, when I saw her bio, I thought she was going to be super fucking boring. And, like, to be fair, I think my read on her from a game perspective was accurate. early on. I just think my read on her as a character wasn't accurate until I saw her her video, and then that's when I thought, okay, maybe it's more like a Victoria character, but still a really terrible player. And like, I don't think that read was necessarily wrong. And I don't know how much of it's her like genuinely being a really bad player, or like how much of it is like her not willing to actually play the game, because like now she's actually starting to play the game. She's starting to think about the game more critically, which I just think she was like unwilling to do early on because she was so focused on like building friendships and like obviously like remaining loyal to Josh, and earlier on like loyal to Summer, and yeah, I just feel like that's okay. That's something. Yeah, I feel like that's probably
I think I just peed myself.
So yes,
like that's kind of the read I had from her early on. But yeah, like now she's starting to play the game a bit more, and I still don't think she's making the right decisions. No, but she's at least playing. And like, yeah, she's recognized now that Kevin is the biggest threat and needs to take out Kevin, and yeah, like she's doing something. Did Josh make the correct move in the triple? No. Under no like circumstance. I mean, like, I think the targets. Actually, I mean, either way, no. I mean, like, like his nomination of Betty is for sure like 100% no. Getting rid of Summer after Jace won the veto. I mean, yeah, like I think the initial nominee of Summer is the interesting thing. I would really know, right? Like, I think Helena probably would have been the easier person for him to put up. I think Helena would have been the person that he could have repaired his relationship the easiest out of any of those people.
Did they follow us here?
Seems like it, but that can't be, can it?
And like, getting rid of Helena isn't the worst case scenario for Josh at that point, as at that point, who does Kevin have? Like, Kevin would have to remain somewhat loyal to Josh.
Gobbled up in all of that.
We'll get to her later.
So yeah, I mean, realistically, yeah, I don't think.
Let's get our bearings and see if we can figure out a way to make.
Yeah, I don't think there was much to praise from Josh there.
Don't think we can ignore what just happened to Lee. He lost a lot of blood down there.
Omid's right. If you see yourself getting woozy or
Kevin and Betty are all-time great characters. Yes.
Just take it easy.
I mean, it's like, and I really love the dynamic between the two
Probably
too.
just need to go to
What's shame is that I don't think like the dynamic has really been like focused on this show. Like the initial dynamic was like the initial like when they were fighting, but I don't feel like the fact that they're like super close now has been focused on the show. And I feel like that's something I wish we got to see a bit more. Yeah, the way he handles Summer is not ideal. I do think, like, at the end of the day, like, him nominating Summer is probably...
That's the church across.
I don't know, I mean, actually, really, he probably should have nominated Kevin by... Like, I mean, again, I think his initial nom should have been Marty, Jace, Helena. Once Jace wins veto, it probably should have been to put up Kevin.
Need to figure out a way to get there.
And then get Helena out. But it's just like he was never doing that. So it's like no matter what, he was going to end up putting up. He was going to end up putting up Summer anyway.
What's up over here?
But even like Summer as the initial nom, I don't think it was the correct choice there.
That could help.
Yeah. I mean, again, like, and also I feel like Summer, like, again, the Summer move to me is like, it's not great, but it's like, it's not the worst move ever either. Like, I think at the end of the day, like, he could have maintained his relationship with Betty. He could have even convinced Betty to vote out Summer, considering, again, Betty had already been annoyed at Summer from earlier. Like, I don't have as much of an issue with the Summer nomination, even though it's not ideal. But I do feel like it's really the Betty move that is, like, the most egregious. And I get it. Like, I get it from his point of view, from, like, what his view of the game is, where he believes the crash test dummies are 100% loyal to each other. The problem is that he's wrong. Who's the biggest dud on BBCAN10? Probably Melina. Or Steph. Steph is also an answer. Where, like, outside, like, her being blindsided, Steph brought nothing to the show.
Yeah. Could buy us some time.
But yeah, I think it's Steph or
Throw as many
Melina.
as we can this way.
Or,
Get down off
like,
the roof on the
debatably
opposite side
T.
and bust our asses getting back to the mansion.
But
shouldn't be the one
probably
to
one of
go.
those three.
My leg's feeling better. Let me do it.
Like, I think Jay had a decent run
We have to decide who
there.
takes a risk like this.
Kyle was obviously Kyle.
Should be the guy who's
I mean, Jess was, like, kind of disappointing, but at least, like,
What's
there were
the worst that
some,
could happen?
like, humorous
Get
moments
bitten again?
that came from Jess.
So we're agreed then.
And after that, I think, like, pretty much everyone that made the jury phase has, like, was either good or a good casting, I should say, or someone that did have a major impact. Where, again, like, Gino, to me, not the greatest casting in the world, but at least he had, like, a major impact on how the season played out.
Fair enough.
And, I mean, I guess JC is probably, like, not, like, I mean, she's fine. Like, realistically, Jace is fine. It's just I feel like the other casting choices were a lot better.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, wait.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Would you rather see
I'm
on the
fine.
challenging year
was
Flo or
wishing I
Colin?
had my other hand.
Probably.
No shit.
I mean, like, realistically,
Try to find another
Colin
way out
would
of
do
there?
better on the challenge. Like, Colin would actually do well in the challenge, CBS or something. But I would love to see Flo on reality TV again. I think that would be fun. I already answered this about Ozzy and Billy. Okay, the lighting's really fucked there, but whatever.
They're coming this way.
Tons of them. Jesus.
Now get back here.
Like, you haven't watched the challenge, yet you keep on, like, saying that one line. You cannot copy my walk. Oh, you mean, like, if it was at the time? I mean, even then, like, Colin is still
I think I have to
probably
jump.
realistically
There's no
the
way back.
answer.
Fuck, be careful.
You think I think Colin would legitimately do really fucking good in the challenge, while Flo probably wouldn't. But it would be fun to see Flo on reality TV. But I think Colin would, like, kind of do both things, where he would be good TV and also he would do good at the challenge. And especially if we're talking about old school Colin. Where, like, I think nowadays Colin is not the greatest TV.
Nice. Now let's get the hell out of here.
Colin would be like CT, Flo would be like Veronica. I think that's, like, a relatively apt comparison. I don't know, how athletic was Flo? I don't remember. Not that athletic, right? But, like, even Veronica was, like, fine physically. But, like, I don't even know if Flo is, like, even on that level from a physical standpoint. But, like, I look at Flo, like, physically closer to, like, a Katie Doyle. But I might be wrong on that. But yeah, like, I think Colin CT comparisons is pretty apt. Like, I don't think Colin is the type of person that would ever get into, like, a full-out fist fight and everything. But, yeah, like, I think it's a relatively apt
They
comparison.
fucked us.
What? Who?
Vernon. He didn't have Clem. So where the fuck is she?
With someone else. We're going after her.
Fuck. Just... Jesus.
Wait, the cancer patients did this?
Yeah, they were waiting. Tired of living underground, I guess. They kicked the
Flo's
shit out of me and
competitive?
tossed me in
Guess
here.
so. Is she?
Wait,
Did she want to
the
quit?
hell happened to you?
Wasn't that, like, the entire end game of Amazing Race? Is her wanting to quit and Zach having to stop her from quitting? If I was a contestant on Deal or No Deal, which number case would I choose? I don't know, probably like 3 or something.
Jesus.
How many numbers are there in Deal or No Deal? There's like 20 something, right?
Omid,
26, okay.
Shouldn't be out in the open.
Yeah, I'll probably go for like 3. And realistically, obviously, it's all luck-based anyway.
Everything is so fucked.
Clementine is still out there.
You remember
So
her
we
being
get
competitive
Clementine,
before
and
wanting to
then
quit?
what?
Well, I mean, the fact that she
Out of
wanted to
cities.
quit to begin
I'm
with,
done
though,
with cities.
kind of like
Go into the
nullifies all of
countryside and make a
the
go of it.
being
Yeah,
competitive.
that seems like a good idea to me.
Nobody asked you.
You just did.
Don't get fucking smart with me, Ben.
Chill.
Krista's right. Bull was a pipe dream.
I think Flo's like one of these
Still
people that
go
like
after Clem.
once she faces like the
Get out
first
of the battle,
semblance of
rethink our
adversity,
entire
she wants to
plan.
quit.
Rethink? How about we just think for once?
That's what I'm saying we do. Calm down, Kenny.
Yeah, chill.
If I was on how far is tattoo far,
We can do this in the
with my teacher, what was that even mean? I mean, either way, I would not get a tattoo. Like I'm very anti-tattoo, personally. I don't like tattoos.
Get to the countryside.
And even if I were to if someone were to force me to get a tattoo at this point, I don't know what it would even be.
Live as safe as you can.
Like at the time, I mean, if you asked me like 5-10 years ago, it definitely would have been the assassin symbol from Assassin's Creed.
You're not dead.
But if it's like nowadays, like I don't even know what the fuck I would even want to get tattooed.
Where the hell do you get off? I'm just saying we should all chill. Not just you. Chill. Lee's bitten and God knows how long he has left. Clementine is who the fuck knows, and we're robbed of the only hope we've had. So Lee should have left your ass in Crawford. We got enough problems. Fuck you, Kenny!
Probably get the Mass Effect symbol. Something. Now, what other, like, iconography could I even get?
So sorry about Katja and Duck. I
don't even know, like,
and
what
fucked up.
like, maybe something, like,
Stop
maybe, like, the
pushing me around
Firefly
and stop
symbol
wishing I was dead.
from Last of
No!
Us?
You know how they do.
I don't know. I don't know what else would
said
even, like, come to
goodbye.
mind for me anymore.
I never got to see my family, my parents, my little sister.
Get Tony tattoo. Yeah, I definitely want that
get that?
entire, like, massive,
Family is gone, but at least you had them to
wasn't it, like,
lose.
one of these tattoos that, like, he changed after
They
the
never
fact?
made it home. They could be alive,
The Survivor
dead,
torch?
or
Eh.
walkers, or worse, and I don't know.
I think I'm good.
So give me a fucking break.
Why is Morgan from BBOTT cut her pillows? I have no
Here we
clue.
come.
In the house!
Crazy that there's still this much intrigue at Final 5 BBCAN. Yeah, and that's what I talked about.
Backyard, right?
That's why I think
can
this is
secure
like
this
definitely
place.
up for debate as the best season ever. Where even at the Final 5, we're getting a
Search
lot
the
of
house
interesting
for
strategy
weapons.
going
On
around.
it.
Where like even like with BBCAN 5, like at the Final 5, it's like there's interesting stuff going
anything
on,
you
but it's
can
mostly
up against
revolved
the
because
doors and
like
windows.
Kevin is winning
what I was thinking.
these competitions. It's having like the sole choice to do something. At the end of the day, his
Go,
choice
Krista.
doesn't
Got it.
like really affect too much.
What is it?
Because like at the end of the day, he's gonna win out anyway. So it's like, well, it's like, oh, it's crazy that he's using the veto on Ica and putting up Dylan and everything. It's like he still like comes into that week in a position where he needs to win out, and he comes out of that week in a position that he needs to win out. It doesn't really matter, really.
Fucking arms
There's gotta be a
But
knife or something in
yeah,
there.
like for this season, there's still like a lot of strategical intrigue. I don't know why I said strategical, by the way. Whatever. A lot of strategic intrigue in how the game's gonna play out and everything, and what people's optimal moves are. Is Ica the best Final 4 boots? Maybe.
Get ready to fight.
Who do we have? We have Tala.
We're fine.
I mean, let's rank all the 4 boots, I guess. Will I do this as a video at some point? Maybe, maybe not. I'm sure I will, realistically, but yeah, I mean, like, for BBCAN, we got, oh my god, this is so loud from my end. But yeah, we got Tala, we got Heather. I would have, I don't even know, would I have a Heather above Tala? Yeah, like, would I? Probably not, right? Because at least Tala wins a jury vote. I don't feel like either of them were that well positioned throughout a lot of the game. Never really had, neither of them had that much control over how the game played out. Like, I think Heather was more ingrained in the Majority Alliance, but by the end of the season, but like still spends the first half like completely out of it.
5, 4, 2. You all know where to aim.
So, yeah, I would probably put Tala above, but like not because like both of them are bottom tier, but like probably Tala above. Brittany, oh my fucking god, this is such a bad group. Is Tally above or below Tala? I mean, really above and below either. I don't even know. He gets saved by multiple twists across season. Is at points where she needs to win specific competitions and gets greatly benefited by those competition wins. Oh, I mean, even that's like pretty fucking close. Talon wins against everybody but Gary, right? And maybe like Andrew is like up for debate, but the jury was wanting to vote for anyone but Emmett and Jillian. So Tala would have beat either of them.
You dropped it down there.
Where like Peter and Alec have openly talked about how they would have voted for Tala over Emmett or Jillian.
Shut up.
Okay, let's get out of here. And
I got the coup with Brittany. I got coup d'etat, won the triple eviction. Greatly benefited her. The return of Cindy also benefited her.
We're not going out through this window. No latches, no roof access, and 30 feet straight
I feel like there was another thing.
But
either way,
I bet this guy would. He's got
air about him. I don't know. I would probably say, I think Brittany has to be at the bottom. Which is really sad that we're coming into BBCAN4 with Tala at number 1. Cassandra is probably not. Cassandra's number 1 of the first 4 seasons, but even then, like Cassandra's like not that great either.
Where else would we have gone?
Like Cassandra's one that like should have been very high and should have been like a top a top tier, I guess, Final Four person, but then like also like actively sabotages your game along the way. Like she almost gets voted out week 3, and a lot of that's due to her own actions. Then what? I mean, I guess like she's
at the hotel.
I mean, gets benefited from Mitch getting ratted out. Is on the bottom during. I mean, not on the bottom, but like is on the outs during the Dallas votes.
What do you mean?
How do we get out of here?
Yeah, I mean, it's like kind of like it's a middle tier sort of game for me.
How do you get out of here?
But still, the highest of the first 4. We got Ika. I think would be number 1 of the first 5.
We have to go now.
Will, we have fucking add a Will to this group.
We're trapped. Do you think that works?
What a shit group this is, by the way, from a gameplay perspective. I think when we're looking at it from a character standpoint and everything, like it's actually a really good group until Will. But from a gameplay perspective, what a shit group this is.
We could be looking at a Larry situation here.
Will's probably above Brittany.
Don't matter.
Probably above Heather.
Guys, I don't know what.
I think the debate between him and Tala is like the more interesting one, where like Tala was less in a majority lines throughout more of the game, but had more winning chances, while Will had more like security throughout the game, but also was very unlikely to win the game. Where he loses against everybody, right? Like maybe against Kayla. There's like, and even then, like I feel like Johnny, Allie, Olivia would have gone
because I haven't given up everything to die
Kayla
we were
over Will. And then Derek would have gone Kayla. So yeah, Kayla would have won that. Yeah. Yeah, so Will's pretty bad. Season 7, Adam or Ika?
It's corroded to hell.
What's on the other side of this wall? 30-foot drop?
No, this mansion butts up against the one next door.
I don't know. I think it's like kind of a close one, actually.
We can't spend the next
like obviously Adam's win equity was much higher. Like realistically, I think I would have Adam above Ika. I think.
This wall ain't shit.
Is this really possible?
Adam had help. They both had help. I mean, which element of help are we talking about with Adam?
Yeah, we can do this.
Okay.
Because I think they were both benefited by things out of their control.
Lee, you rest. We have to work fast.
And like Adam's win equity was much higher. Ika was better positioned coming into the Final Four.
I get her. Go sit down.
But also, again, like actively sabotages her jury chances. doesn't really get her way for first like half the game, which I guess to be fair with Adam, like you can argue that at points in the game.
I'm glad you told us when you got bitten. It would have been easy not to.
And like kind of gets lucked out. Like I think with Ica gets lucked out on the fact that Karen wants to give up her game, which is not really due to the actions of Ica and Dimitri within the house, but more so due to Karen being Karen, and being someone that doesn't really care about winning the game. And also has such a vendetta with Kevin, or in her mind has such a vendetta with Kevin to where she just wants to actively make it so Kevin doesn't win the game.
Just wham! Thing was on me. Never saw it. Like someone
I always love this moment.
It's so weird. I keep doing a double take on your arm, expecting it to be.
Yeah, then who else is there? BBCAN10 with Kiefer.
What do you think the odds are of that?
I think Kiefer's in that Cassandra spot. Like, I think you could argue between the two. Is Kiefer above or below Cassandra? I think I would have Kiefer above. I think.
I trust you'll do what's right.
But definitely below Ica and Adam.
Whatever happens to you.
And then if Kevin goes out at 4, he's number 1, obviously.
The entire time we were at the hospital, I could sense you think you're as good as dead.
I was bitten, Krista.
You cut it off.
What good is it to plan around that working?
What good is it for you to give up?
Adam got silent assassin twist. I feel like that's the least of the luck things for Adam.
Stop it.
Like, I don't think that's the thing that, like... that's a twist that I think at the end of the day benefited Dane. Actually, I don't know. Actually, it probably did harm Dane by the end of it. It bettered Dane's positioning, but harmed his relationship with Anthony, which, considering they went to the plan to get to the Final Four with the Pretty Boys anyway, actually probably harms Anthony. Or it harms Dane, now that I think about it. I'm really, like, I don't think it's the Silent Assassin twist that necessarily greatly improved Adam's game. I think it's more so like him working with Dane to do something against Anthony's back was probably the thing that more so benefited Adam, which is something that was perpetuated by it. But like, I don't think it's like such a major deal to where I'm saying, like, oh, if he wins, it's a invalid win because of because he got the Silent Assassin twist. Like, it's not nearly to the level of something like the coup d'etat or anything like that.
That's good for.
All right, I'm out of gas. You look good and rested.
Sure, if you don't count an infected leg.
Like, it's not really. It's not like a situation where like he's completely overturning a power structure from one twist. It's more so like the twist allowing him to get rid of the person who was going to go home coming into that week had a certain other HOH result happened anyway.
Feeling any better?
Where like really Corey coming into that week, like everyone but Anthony and Mark were targeting Corey coming into that week anyway. So really, it just allowed the natural progression of the game to occur. Where like Corey would have been targeted had almost anyone won HOH anyway. And like, while like again, it does screw Anthony over, and since they put so much work into convincing Mark to keep Corey safe, only for Corey to go home anyway. Like, that's something to factor in. But like, I think in terms of like Adam benefiting from it, like I don't think it necessarily benefited him enough to like a point where you can really knock it against his game.
Sorry. You've lost more than anyone.
It'll be all right, kid.
I mean, Cass like did really bad work with Levita though. I forgot what it was. I know Levita caught Cass in a lie. I don't remember what it is at this point.
Maybe take it easy on him from here on out.
Was it something with the vote the last week? I don't remember. It was something like, I know it was Cassandra got caught in a lie from Levita. And that was like a major reason why she gets targeted.
This guy tell you much about what we've been through?
Bits and pieces.
See that lump on his face?
It's funny that someone ranks so high in the BBCAN10 player rankings, barely mid-tier on a mini ranking. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much where we're at.
Well, cheers.
I mean, like, really, like, is BBCAN10 like the worst grouping of players? It's probably not, but like, it's definitely up there, though, right? Because like, again, like, to me, if I'm looking at the cast of BBCAN9, and I'm thinking of like, who is genuinely the person I would have the most faith on in any given season, I think the answer might be Kyle. Like, it's like, I think the answer is like the fourth boot of the season. But yeah, I think Canada definitely is. I don't agree with BB19. I've never agreed with BB19.
No walkers. Things are looking up.
Where, like, it's definitely, like, there definitely are some massive duds, in terms of people that don't know how to play the game. But it's, like, also, like, I think certain people get too much flack. Particularly, I think, like, Christmas on the season doesn't play a bad game, really until, like, the last few weeks where she kind of gives up. But, like, for most of the season, I think she plays a solid game. I do think people don't credit Josh enough for, like, what he does in the back half of the game. Obviously, you got Paul. Just being Paul. I think Mark is actually, like, a competent player that really, like, made some mistakes early on and, like, wasn't able to get out of that position. But, like, I think if Mark were to play again, I think Mark would have a decent shot. Who else is there? Jason, I think, is a player that, had he had game knowledge coming into the season, probably could have been a great player. Because he had, like, solid reads for a lot of the game, but then, like, was convinced that those reads were wrong by Alex, because Alex is a really bad player. And, like, because Alex, like, kept on talking about how much of a super fan she is, even though she barely watched the show. So that's the thing. Like, even Matt, like, I don't think Matt's the worst player in the world. Like, I think Matt's another one that, like, needed more game knowledge. Like, if he had more game knowledge, I think he could have been a pretty competent player. But really just, like, did not seem to care about the game. And I think that's the biggest issue, more so than, like, him being a genuinely bad player. You could just skip all this, right? I guess we'll talk to him.
I guess Crawford would have gotten them anyway.
Who I have most faith in any given season for this season? Probably Herman. Like, again, I think the two best players here are Herman and Kevin. I think Kevin, to me, like, still feels like someone that would go home early on any given season. Now, like, based on what we've seen of his game, it does feel like he is someone that could potentially get out of that situation. But I still feel like the fact that he is almost always going to start in a bad position is definitely worse than someone like a Herman, who I think is probably going to be more consistent in the game. What is this? Oh, I'm looking at, like, I relogged into my Twitch account on my phone because for some reason it was glitching out. I see Lasers is streaming with the title, "Don't watch this stream." So that is something. But is Ty and Jed a stronger duo than Moose and Herman? Yes, in the fact that Moose and Herman were never truly a duo until, like, kind of the tail end. Yeah, well, let's just leave. I don't really care. Raven Nessa's SA Panama preseason Q&A. It's fucking hilarious. Where is this, on the wiki?
Nothing other than personal items in here.
Let's see.
Looks like we can stay off the streets all the way to River Street if we're careful.
Let's go.
All right.
Go ahead.
Alex Al's your hero. Well, good for you. Like, Alex Al is such a bad player, though, and that's like one of these examples of the edit in Big Brother US being a bit inaccurate. Where, again, for the most part, I do feel like BBUS does a solid job at showing the reality of situations. Obviously a bit simplified, but, like, usually, like, does a decent job at showing the events of the feeds. I feel like that's one of those situations in recent history where, like, Alex got way too much credit. I love how, like, one of the first things I see here. Actually, yeah, this is. I'm reading this like right away. This is kind of ridiculous. Right away, it says Vanessa is an introverted extrovert and a fighter. What you should know about her. Until recently, Vanessa pursued a modeling career, but has decided to return back to Durban. That's something.
Fuck! What are we gonna do?
Worst qualities, I can be lazy. I will win Survivor because I said so. Oh, fuck off. I wasn't looking at the screen. Whatever.
We'll let you know if we see trouble.
Be careful.
Yeah. It is a dumb Q&A. What will your winning strategy be? I do have strategy for staying on the island, and that is to observe. Okay.
I'm okay. Just get me out of here.
Oh, on a return? I would... Like, I would have more faith in Herman more than any of the other four, but I'd probably have the least amount of faith on Moose. Then... Actually, I don't know. Maybe Jed would be lower.
Really?
So I guess Herman and Moose would probably be the... Yeah, I'd probably have more faith in Herman and Moose on a return. And to be fair with Ty, I feel like there'll be a massive target on Ty's back if he were to return anyway.
What is it? I'm okay. I'm okay.
We can get you up. We can,
Ow! Oh, God!
Yeah, Lee's being awfully quiet. I wonder why that is. Yeah. It's like, it's almost as if Lee's not paying attention.
Just yank him off that thing.
What?
Fast. Like a Band-Aid.
Do you think?
Is there anyone from BBOTT that you would have... I mean, like... Is the question, like, who from BBOT would I have wanted on BB18? I mean, really, I think the cast of BBOTT is one of the strongest recent Big Brother casts. And I think it's a shame that it was relegated to a sideshow.
Shit. Get the fuck out of here.
What?
Go back. She needs you, Lee.
Kenny!
This is not a discussion.
Yeah, this is definitely the end of Kenny. We're definitely not seeing him ever again.
I'm going.
Good.
Hey, John. I didn't get a late start. Stream crashed, and I had to restart it. Well, I've been going for, like, what, 3 hours now?
Leave him, Ken! I can't let you do this!
Fucking
I think.
go!
Let's look this up. How long did the previous stream go for? Yeah, 2 hours, 12 minutes. Yeah, we're, like, over 3 hours in at this point. Fuck, I just realized we're not gonna have enough time for 400 days, are we? See, we're 3 hours in already, then, yeah, we're probably not gonna get to 400 days. That's disappointing.
Fuck! Kenny, please!
Yeah, Danielle would have been a good pick for the main show. Chrissy should have been the main show. I think I'm good. I think I'm fine without Chrissy. Other Practical Jokers, including Joe, which would do the best on Survivor, probably... It might be Sal? I don't know. I feel like Sal...
What happened?
Feels like the most relatable of the bunch. I think. Like Q, I think Q can come off kind of... I don't know, kind of bit... I don't know what the right term is. Nah, like someone that, like, probably not the, like, most hard-working person, or most, like, socially... I don't know. Like, I don't think he'll do the best, socially there.
I heard a shot.
Joe, I think, can, like, come off as kind of a joke.
Kenny made sure that...
And, like, probably someone that's going to be, like, well-liked. But I don't know if he has that, like, strategic side of him. Murr, I think, is... Yeah, I think Murr is, like, David Wright in the sense that, yeah, he's going to be, like... But I think, like, with that also comes, like, a high-variance style of game where, like, I think Murr is probably one of the first boots if he were to play Survivor. But, and again, if he makes it far, he probably could win. But yeah, like, I think he's high variance. I feel like Sal's probably the one that, like, seems the most, like, well-rounded in terms of a game of Survivor. Where I could see, like, Sal being, like, kind of like the Omer of a season. Of being, like, really well integrated socially. Has enough of a strategic mind to where he would be okay. Yeah, I feel like Sal's probably the answer. With Cornbread, yeah, Cornbread. I mean, Cornbread kind of is the precursor to Frenchie either way, right? Imagine if like Cornbread was on BB-18 and actually said "fuck y'all" when he left. That would have been great.
You want to talk?
Nothing to say.
Really, I mean, like BBOTT has a really strong cast, though. I mean,
I know we can't just
like especially Justin. I mean, the fact that someone like Justin hasn't been on
this is a shitty time.
the main show is a bit of a travesty. Again, Danielle was a good casting choice.
Mead and I have to stay safe for her.
Why am I forgetting? Oh, Alex was really good. Scott.
Take all the risks.
That's not
Like, I really feel like Scott from BBOTT, I think is one of the funniest characters to me. Where, like, just the one scene of him, what was it? Him in the middle of the veto competition where, like, he was going to go home if he didn't win it. And then, like, he is just talking to the camera. Like, in, like, a wrestler voice and everything. Like, that stuff was hilarious. Yeah, Monty was on X on the Beach with Morgan, right? So that was something. Monty wasn't the worst casting choice either. Not necessarily the most likable guy in the world, though. I mean, he's kind of like the typical guy that kind of goes on a power trip week 1, is a target for week 2.
Careful.
Gets taken out. Like, I mean, it's not really like, it's kind of a typical run that you see on Big Brother, but I thought he was, like, fine.
Be careful through here.
Yeah, we don't need any more accidents.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Neely.
Sorry.
Neely wasn't great. I mean, she was, like, a solid player early on. Like, she was kind of, like, one of the best, like, insulated people socially, where she obviously was part of the Jason side of things, but she was, like, the person on that side that actually had the best relationships with the other side. But then, like, she's on the block. Wait, I forgot, America nominated her, right?
Marshall's Hotel is around the corner of the block.
And then, like, she was just, like,
We have to cross here.
the only person from the other side to be nominated. So that's why she gets targeted. But, like, she definitely wasn't, like, the person that they wanted to get out.
You're the lightest.
Like, they definitely would have wanted, like, a Danielle or other people. Yeah, she was nominated by America. So, yeah. Yeah, Neely's definitely not the worst player in the world. I mean, it was annoying. Like, I did not like Neely at the time. I think she was very hypocritical.
Cross first.
You're the lightest, Omid. I'll follow right after you.
But still. I forgot Monty was nominated by America, too. Actually, all the people nominated by America went home.
I appreciate it.
I didn't realize that. That's actually kind of insane. But yeah, so Cornbread was nominated by America. He went home. Monty was nominated by America. He went home. Danielle was nominated by America. Didn't go home, but almost did. Neely went home. Scott went home. Alex went home. Isn't Scott a bully? Scott wasn't a bully. I mean, Scott was someone that, like, was trying to make good TV, and the other side kind of used that to villainize him. Like, where, like, he was, like, picking fights with people because he, like, thought it would be good TV. And again, this is a game where America has such a major impact on the show. So this was, like, a strategy from him, where he was thinking that, okay, if I get into fights with people, America is going to think I'm good TV and through that want to save me.
Anything.
It's not, Lee.
again, it's kind of like very Glass House-y. Like, really, and BBOTT and Glass House, like, have a lot of similarities, really.
What does that mean?
It means I'm already bitten. I just have to push my way through.
What the fuck?
Let's meet outside of town, by the train.
Are you nuts?
It's the
Danielle
only
Licky wants to
way.
do a challenge?
Do you
I'd be
hear
okay
me?
with that.
Yeah, by the train.
Jesus. We'll be there.
And she's still, like, online talking about, reality TV constantly, right? How'd the Walking Dead cast do on Survivor Big Brother? Let's see. I mean, who would do the best? Like, Kenny would do terribly, right? I feel like Kenny would do terribly. Like, Kenny is essentially like the, I feel like he's the type of person that would be like the figurehead for an alliance, but then, like, actually be taken out early on. Like, kind of like the Brad Culpepper, I guess, or like a figure similar to that. I feel like Lee can be a decent, like, second command guy. But still, like, not someone that I think has, like, the killer instinct to really win. Clem could do okay. I feel like she's kind of not the greatest socially, though. Yeah, like, kind of too intense. Oh, fuck. Okay, well, that's my fault. I looked away from the fucking screen for, like, a second. Of course, I fucking die. Is it true Danielle Reyes wants to do a challenge? I don't know. I didn't see that. I know she wants to do Survivor. I don't know about the challenge. Yeah, who else? I feel like Omid could do okay. But again, I don't know if he has, like, a killer instinct in him. Who else do we got here? Katya will suck. I think Molly's probably too much of, like, an outsider, that's the word. A loner, I think that's what I was trying to say. Maybe Carly? Would Carly be the best? I mean, Carly, like, had this, like, massive vendetta with Lily. Like, maybe that, like, shows her not being, able to get along with everybody, but I feel like Carly could be a top contender. Maybe Glenn? Actually, Glenn probably lacks the killer instinct, too, though. I don't know, maybe it is Carly. Like, Carly's, like, the one that's... Actually, I think that'd probably be what it'd be, is, like, Carly, like, using Lee as, like, a meat shield. Where, like, we even see that, like, in episode 3, where, like, Carly's the one telling Lee what to do in terms of, like, how to build his relationships with Kenny and everything. So, I mean, really, like, Carly's, like Tyler. Just, like, telling people what to... And I guess, to a degree, kind of like, what Kevin's currently doing. So obviously, yeah, Carly's the answer. Obviously, it wouldn't be Jane. It wouldn't be Arvo. It wouldn't be Bonnie. Who else from season 2? It wouldn't be Nick. I feel like Luke would be like the golden boy. Would be like the Joe Anglim of the cast. I forgot, have I done a Walking Dead Telltale? I think I've done a like Telltale thing in the past, like Survivor Simulation, but I don't think I've ever done a just only Walking Dead.
You look horrible, and you're missing an arm.
What did I do on the main channel? I did Assassin's Creed and Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Because I thought it was in previous streams where, like, I did these, I did a whole bunch before I started a YouTube channel. And again, nowadays, I simply would not have the time to do this. Oh, I never did do Telltale.
quiet.
Wow, I
please,
really thought I did do
sweetie.
Telltale. Okay. Huh. Alright, never mind.
Things.
How have I not done Telltale? Like, that definitely feels like a thing I would have done at the time. Actually, maybe that was before. Oh, yeah, that was before I played most of the Telltale games.
Just be cool.
Do I not?
I don't know. Well, either way. Easy, I can tell you the answer for Yu-Gi-Oh! And for Assassin's Creed and stuff like that, of like who would be the best Survivor players, because I have all these dumb simulations that I did way back in the day. But yeah, I guess I don't have it for Telltale. That's really weird. I'll do 400 days for sure. I don't know if I'm going to do it this stream. And the plan for this stream was to do episode 4 and 5, and I was hoping to get an early enough start to where like I would just say screw it and do 400 days also. The problem is I didn't start until like 45 minutes after.
We were starving.
For the taking? Do you know what you took
Yeah,
from
I
me?
didn't get start until like 45 minutes until after that, and then also
I'm sorry.
like the stream crashes kind of wasted like a good 10 to 15 minutes.
You have to hear that I'm sorry.
That doesn't mean anything to me. I wish it did. I'm not.
Yeah, let's look up the I don't remember who won the
But I've
the Assassin's Creed one. Where I had these like similar things. So essentially, what I did on the main channel
hurt somebody.
back in the day, where I did these 2 Brant Steel series, I did 6 of them on my own before I even had a YouTube series or YouTube channel. Where I did one for Assassin's Creed, for PlayStation franchises, for Yu-Gi-Oh, for Power Rangers, for Dragon Ball, and for One Piece.
I hurt her. So
This is so fucking dumb. This is the dumbest shit. I'm looking this up right now. Fucking
he was too young.
like what is James Cook won Assassin's Creed All Stars. It's so fucking dumb. Who won the Brant? I genuinely do not remember the Brant Steel series that I did on the channel anymore. Who even won the Brant Steel series?
Never found him.
I remember who won the Yu-Gi-Oh! All-Star season, because I fucked it up too much to where I
Then you
made Yusei too overpowered. But I genuinely don't even remember who won the Assassin's Creed one. I love how the like Assassin's Creed Brant Steel is like an hour and 2 minutes long.
I'm sorry.
I love how I'm like completely like this is like the best scene in the entire fucking game, and I'm like not even paying attention to it because I'm too busy fucking looking up Assassin's Creed Brant Steels. Oh, the Maharaja one. Fuck me. What a shit. Cassandra made Final fucking 6.
like a monster to
Mirabeau got rocked out. So fucking dumb.
Yes.
If you think that now, you just wait.
I just love how this is actually like a thing I used to do.
You killed a man with a pitchfork.
Where
right
again,
in
nowadays,
front of a
I
little
don't have the fucking time in my life to fucking sit down and run simulations of Survivor seasons with characters from random franchises. But
You deserved it.
The sweatshirt she's
oh yeah, Mario
wearing was
Auditorio
my
was
boy's.
robbed in my
You
initial
stole that from us.
series thing.
I fucked up.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I fucked up.
How could you know all this?
Let's see. I'm pretty sure Yusei won my other Yu-Gi-Oh! One too.
You're a monster.
A murderer
Murderer.
and a thief. And I want to hurt you so bad. That line has always stuck with me for some reason. I don't know why. For some reason, like whenever I hear murderer, monster, or thief, that is literally the line that comes to my mind. Is you're a monster, a murderer, and a thief, and I want to hurt you so bad. It's such a fucking dumb line.
You did, and the danger she was in. Our plan changed. Lead listen.
Did Billy and Candace ever find love of each other? Obviously. I mean,
What's next?
yeah.
I can
Like, what do you
take care of
expect? Should we go on Kingdom Hearts 7 Lights, 13 Darknesses? That'll be funny.
I I bet you don't even know how old she
Who
is.
would win a Kingdom Hearts branch theme?
Wrong.
Or Kingdom Hearts Survivor season, I guess.
Her birthday was 6 days ago.
And if we're talking about like dark, I mean, like if we're doing 7 Lights, 13 Darknesses, obviously Darkness has the majority there. But then like it's all Xehanort, right? Like most of them are just Xehanort anyway. So like when all the Xehanorts like gang up, or would the Darknesses have to turn on each other? Because there's so many Xehanorts that they all have to take out the Xehanorts.
You'll have to kill me.
See, these are the questions that we need answered.
Hey, honey, I think this is all gonna work out.
What are you?
I mean, who won the Power Rangers one? I want to look this up. Yeah, Wes won All Stars.
I wish it wouldn't have had to get this bad, but it's all over, hon. Isn't it?
Doggy Kruger won the first season
I hate seeing
of my Power Rangers Survivor series. That's something.
I miss you so much, Tess. You're gonna like Clementine a lot, though. She's not Lizzie, but she's sweet. She wouldn't.
Who won Dragon Ball? Let's see this. I haven't looked at the Dragon Ball or One Piece ones in forever. Piccolo won Dragon Ball All Stars. Goku Black won a season. That's something. Cool, I died because I wasn't looking at the screen.
Hey, honey.
What a shitty list of winners this is.
What are you?
We got Khalifa won season 1. Oob won season 2. Who's Vados? I don't remember who Vados is.
I wish it wouldn't have had to get this bad, but it's all over, hon.
Oh, the female Y. Okay. Well, she won season 3. I don't know, whatever. Gohan won a season. Future Trunks won a season.
You're gonna like Clementine a lot, though. She's not Lizzie, but she's sweet. She wouldn't hurt a fly.
Alright, let's actually not fuck this up this time. I don't feel like I'm even dying in fucking Telltale games, by the way. I didn't even realize that's allowed that. It's really fucking sad. I'm literally dying in a Telltale game. Oh, wait, what the fuck? Okay, there we go. I almost fucked that up, too. What the fuck? Who won One Piece? Oh, Law won One Piece All-Stars. Okay, I was not looking at the screen again. God damn it. Robin won a season. Oh, Luffy actually won his season. Well, that's something. Yeah, I know everyone's riveted by hearing about dumb fucking Survivor. Whatever, alright, yeah, let's move on.
Hey.
Kruger's pretty apt to do well. Yeah, I feel like Kruger would actually do pretty well. I think he's a bit intimidating. I feel like that's probably like, I mean, he's like such a blatant like figurehead, right? We're like, like he's probably a big target.
It's all over, hon. Isn't it?
But yeah, I think he definitely has like the strategic ability to do well.
Like this. I just miss your smile, honey. I miss you so much.
Do I think they'll bring back Celebrity Big Brother UK? I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually what they bring back over the main show. Where I think, to be honest, that's probably more likely, is them bring back Celebrity Big Brother UK without bringing back the main show. What the fuck, game? Okay, cool. What I think of Billy and Candace kissing after their season? Well, I'm very sure that happened. Also, something that's also funny, too, about Billy Garcia to me, is I feel like by watching the season, you would think that Billy Garcia is, like, super young, right? I like when watching Survivor Cook Islands, I think the assumption is that, okay, Billy must be, like 21... 22, 23, somewhere in that range. He's like 30. Yeah, he's 36. I'm looking this up right. He was 36 at the time of Survivor Cook Islands. Like, that is insane to me. Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about Billy Garcia.
I'm so I'm sorry.
Yeah, like Candace was like what, like 22 something. It is funny that like I feel like that's something no one really talks about. It's like Billy Garcia is like nearing 40 at the time of Forever Cook Islands.
Why? That's so scary.
Actually, is he the? Oh my God! I think he's the oldest person on his tribe. He is. He's older than Christina Coria.
I know.
That's mind blowing. I actually never even put that together. I always assumed Christina was older.
Did he hurt you?
Yeah, that's insane.
Not really. I'm sorry, Lee.
Clem, it's okay.
I love how you look up Christina Coria and she looks like so fucking different now than how she looked on Survivor.
Everything's okay now. We need to figure out how to get out of Savannah as fast as we can.
Yeah, the only people on the cast that are older than Billy are Sekou, Penner, and Cowboy.
I'm sorry you had to see that.
He was going to kill you.
And take you. Yeah.
I'm sure it's like for a joke or something, right? Of like Candace kissing Billy. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
Which way out?
Through there.
Which way out? Oh, I wonder where it is. It's definitely not through the fucking door that's over there.
Jesus.
I love how, like, even, like, Yule... Actually, I forgot Yule was 31. I forgot he was that old. Like, I was thinking he was, like, 27 or so. I didn't realize he was 31. Actually, Cook Islands is a pretty old cast. Yeah, even Adam is 27. Yeah, Parvati and Candace are the two youngest at 23. Ozzy's 24 and Nate is 26. And you got Adam and Flicka 27. Becky is 28.
Yeah.
Even Cecilia is 29. I didn't think Cecilia was that old.
Gross stuff.
I had to get through a bunch of them to get here. That's how we'll get out of Savannah.
I don't know if I want to click this link. Do I really trust to click a link from Bryce?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm debating how much I want to do after this. Do I even want to bother starting 400 days? Like, I feel like I don't know. Because I don't feel like there's a point starting it and then, like, not finishing it. But I also don't want to actually... Because, like, 400 days is probably going to take us, like, 2 hours. Like, I don't want to do another 2 hours worth. So we might just end it. Or at least not do any more game, at least. After we finish episode 5 here.
Are you done?
A little more. I want to be sure.
Celebrity Big Brother UK is one of these shows that they don't invite celebrities. Or that invites celebrities that aren't even celebrities. I mean, yeah, especially when you get that many seasons. Because they had, 20 seasons of Celebrity Big Brother UK? It's like, once you get to that point, you're definitely getting some people that are nobodies.
I hope so.
And you're missing something.
Actually, I want to look this up. What did Celebrity Apprentice
I
get
was gone.
on season 1?
I thought you were gone.
Because I feel like celebrity shows are kind of weird, where, season 1, you typically don't get the greatest people.
Stay right
But then once people see the show in action, then you probably start to get some more, some bigger names. And it had it not been for
Keep you safe.
Celebrity Big Brother 3 being the train wreck that it was, in terms of, supposedly the casting, or that that CBS was really cheap with the casting process. I assume that they could have gotten some bigger names, but just actively didn't. Yeah, I mean, actually, looking at this, season 1 of Celebrity Apprentice, is not the greatest cast in the world. Like, you got Piers Morgan, who, again, very controversial figure now, but, like, at the time, like, a decent get. Trace Adkins, I guess, is a decent get. Stephen Baldwin, I guess. Omarosa is, like, that's Omarosa. Like, it's a great casting choice, but also someone that's, like, very easy to get for a celebrity show. Tito Ortiz is okay, I guess. Marilu Henner. Who the fuck is Nelly Galan? Former president of Telemundo? That was on a celebrity season? Whatever. Gene Simmons is a great get. That's definitely a... Nadia Comaneci. What show was it that someone mentioned Nadia Comaneci? Wasn't there, like, some reality show where someone mentioned Nadia Comaneci? What do you think of Billy trying to fuck a girl 13 years younger than him? I mean, as long as the girl's still within, like, I mean, still of age, then there's not, like, fundamentally an issue with it. But I still think it's weird that Billy Garcia acts that way when he's 36.
They're dead.
But whatever.
They really are.
You know, you're gonna be sad for a very long time. But you know what happened to them. When we get you somewhere safe, then just let it all out.
Would you actively lie to me? Probably. I would assume so.
Clementine, we have to get out of here as fast as we can.
I'm definitely not clicking that link.
There's thousands of them outside.
And when there's a link to, like, a thing with, like, a billion things at the end of it, it's like, I think I'm good.
We're safe here. I
I don't
locked
need
us
to click
in.
it.
Get that door open.
I can't.
Do it!
It was only a little open when I found it. I closed it to keep us safe.
Hold on, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Actually, I'm just looking at the stream summary. I didn't realize how many viewers we had earlier. But, like, up until the stream crashing, this is actually probably one of my best streams. I didn't even notice that. But whatever. It is what it is.
Clementine, honey.
Why did so many people show up to the stream? Like, it's literally like nothing going on. It's Bryce's NFT? Well, that's something.
Please, no. That's not true.
I don't feel like I need to see a Billy Garcia Candace image.
It's gonna be okay.
Oh shit, I wasn't looking at the screen again. God damn it. Do I think Tim from which Tim are we talking about? Tim from BBAU, or are we talking about Tim from Australian Survivor 2002? Is there even a Tim on Modern Australian Survivor? No, right? But we're talking from Australian Survivor 2002, then, I mean...
Let's go.
Like, it was the second boot of the season. If we're talking about Tim from BBAU, then, we're talking about from BBCAN. I think he's a good player. I think he is a very, sporadic player. And, like, one that, like, is very messy is probably the better term to say. Where, like, he was very good socially. And, like, is still, like, very good socially. I don't think he's all there strategically. Like, he definitely is strategic. Where, like, he is doing things strategically. It's just that I don't know if he's ever, like, he's not really doing his most optimal move most of the time. And really, like, also, like, in terms of, like, the actual events of the season, like, fundamentally lost the battle between him and Mitch. And really is only able to get Mitch out because of the fake double, having Kelsey come back and actively being against Mitch at that point due to what she saw in the feeds. and also the information that she got from talking to Levita. It's like he technically loses the battle. Where like there's this massive battle during the Dallas week, where it's essentially Nikki is the swing vote, and it's Mitch and Tim fighting for her vote, and Mitch ends up winning that battle. And like from that point forward, like Tim, Cassandra, and Nick and Phil were like probably on the bottom. Like they were definitely people that were not like where we had the trio, or I guess at that point without Kelsey, but like Raul and Jared, like they were leaning more so towards Mitch's side of things at that point. But then it's once Kelsey comes back in the game that she's able to get them away from Mitch, largely because of the information that she gets from outside the game. But like that's like something that greatly benefits greatly benefits Tim's game.
Just start by getting that door open.
And also he like actively like he keeps on lying to Nick and Phil, even though they like know information that he's lying about, which really turns them against him.
There's a baseball bat under the counter, Clem. You can use that.
Like he does do good work at points, but like I mean, like probably not the greatest player in the world, but still like play a solid enough game on that season. Is Nikki a good player? No. Yeah, rest in peace, Nikki Graham. But no, she wasn't a good player. Do I think Hai and Mike will be begonged? Not really. I mean, Hai could go. I could definitely see Hai going soon. I don't think Mike is like. I don't think Mike's going home anytime soon. Both from an edit perspective and then also from like an in-game perspective. There really are no signs to a potential Mike boot to me. Like Hai, like again, like the edit's been undercutting him so much that I could definitely see Hai going home, even in this next episode, where it wouldn't be that big of a surprise. But yeah, like I think Mike is probably in it for the long haul.
He's trapped.
Do I see you being a high variance player? Yes.
He's got keys.
Probably leaning on the not great side. But maybe you can make it far, maybe. I'm just on the maybe. Is Tim the second best player in BBCAN 4 behind Mitch? Probably. Actually, fuck it. BBCAN 4 player ranking. What the fuck is that? Like, yeah, it probably is Mitch number 1. Which is funny. Is that the furthest back a number 1 is on a player ranking? I think it probably is. Because it's like, how am I going to have Mitch below Tim when, like, Mitch literally outplays Tim at every opportunity until the point where Mitch gets screwed over by a twist.
There's keys.
So it's probably Mitch, Tim, Cassandra. Actually, BBCAN 4 is also really bad, isn't it? Actually, Joel might be above Cassandra. Maybe. Yeah, what a shit cat. Like, BBCAN 4, I feel like it's probably a season that... I remember, like, when I did my initial BBCAN season ranking, I had it at number 3, right? Out of the first, what was that, 6 seasons? I feel like BBCAN 4 is probably the season that has gone down in my estimations the most over time.
Easy, but you know what to do.
What am I supposed to do here?
Handcuffs on the ground. Get them.
Okay, Lee.
What happens if Tori wins? If she wins what? Wins immunity? Because again, like we talked through the scenarios early on. yeah, like I think Tori is very clearly the person that goes home from her group if she doesn't win immunity. If she does, then it's either Drea as the only non-Taku, and like her for some reason not deciding to use her advantages, or it could be Marianne. They could vote out Marianne as like the other person that's not in the core majority group, or Marianne and Drea could flip and take out like a Jonathan. Or even a Lindsay. Lindsay because the amulet. I didn't even think about that until now. Lindsay has the amulet. So, like, Drea would be incentivized to vote out Lindsay at that point. So maybe it could be Lindsay. Really, I think anyone there, any of those 5 could go home. I think that's going to be a really interesting group, especially if Tori wins immunity. And the other group, it's like, there's the clear Romeo boot. But then beyond that, it's like, also kind of wonky. I mean, if she wins the season, I mean, she's not winning the season. Like, it's not even a question. Like, Tori's not winning the season.
You have to handcuff the walker. You can kill it easy then.
I don't know, Lee.
You can do it. Just be careful. Move around the side.
I think we forget as a community how bad BB-Can used to be. I mean, I don't agree with that. I think BB-Can's... I love BB-Can, like, at the time of BB-Can 1, 2, 3. Even though how twist-heavy BB-Can 3 was, I thought BB-Can 3 was great TV. And even to this day, like, I still think BB-Can 3... I like BB-Can 3 more than most people. While they were entertaining, strategically they were a mess. I think strategically, BB-Can 9 is definitely a bigger mess than any other BB-Can season. I think the problem with the earlier seasons, particularly season 3, obviously, is the big one, is that it's so twist-heavy. And actually, I think it's actually the opposite of BB-Can 3, where BB-Can 3 is like a hyper-strategic season.
Kill it! You have to kill it!
Where I feel like there were a lot of good players on BB-Can 3. Obviously, you have your really bad ones like Cindy. But, I mean, you had like a lot of really strong players. The problem is that, like, it was so muddled by twists that it led to some of the not great players making it far into the season, and some of them potentially winning. But I loved BB-Can 3 at the time, though. Like when it was airing, watching the feeds, like still the triple eviction is still one of my favorite moments in BB-Can history.
I did it. I got him.
10 is messier than 9, but like in a good way, though. I think the type of... Because BB-Can 9 is messy because everyone's playing poorly. BB-Can 10 is messy, but at least here we do have like Kevin playing an all-time great game. We have Helena playing a very solid game as well. And Josh is playing a fine game until recently. But like, I mean, at least there's like good gameplay on this season, where like BB-Can 9 is all people playing badly.
My turn, honey.
It's like it's a bit different in terms of the type of messiness that it is.
Won't be good.
No, you can't. You can't do that.
Trust me, Clint.
I feel like a lot of early BB-Can players weren't into it.
I'm
I don't... Again, like, I think in recent seasons there's been some players that haven't been into it. More than, like, early... Again, like, BB-Can 3, I think is, like, one of the most, like, game-heavy casts. And again, some of them played terribly. But, like, I think, like, outside of Peely and, like, I guess, like, maybe Willow, I think everyone there was playing, like, really hard.
You have to shoot me, honey.
Lee, no.
It's okay. It's okay. Make it.
Herman played a good game? Kind of. Like, I think Herman...
Yeah, I do.
I think he played a good game. Like, I mean, I don't think he's, like, quite there to where, like, I think Herman is a better player than what his game indicates. Obviously, from the fact that like, he never really gets his way a lot of the time. But, yeah, like, it's... Like, he constantly tries to make alliances. All those alliances continue to crumble.
I can't.
Largely because, like, the people he's trying to make these alliances with aren't
outside of town.
playing the same type of game that he is.
You remember how to get back there?
Where like he obviously like Summer, like him and Summer play like radically different games, and Summer's constantly trying to throw comps, which completely goes against his like strategy. Like his strategy is to build an alliance with all the comp winners, so that way your alliance holds control throughout the entire game. The problem is that again, like none of these people are sticking true to that alliance, which I think you have to fault him partially for. But still, like I think fundamentally, like he has the right idea on how to play Big Brother. And he is essentially trying to play the game that has been successful for years now on BBUS. It's just that with this cast, it just did not work. But even beyond that, like I don't even think he's like.
What is it?
There's definitely holes in like the way he approaches the game though. Like I don't like, even though I do like how aggressive he is in the game and how he like continuously makes deals, and those deals end up saving, like him making a final 2 deal with Josh. Ends up making Josh try to campaign for him for a while until Kevin's able to flip him over. But then, like, you have him making a deal with Gino that keeps him safe for a few weeks. Even his deal with Marty it seemed like it was going to keep him safe until, like, the last second when Kevin flips against them. But, yeah, like, I still think, like, the way he approaches... Like, the way that he handled Kyle... I think it was pretty terrible, where that could have easily backfired on her. And really, like, the entire Kyle HOH week, I think was really bad for Herman. By the way, I talked over Lee's death. But, yeah, the entire Kyle HOH week, I think he handled pretty terribly. Both from how he handled Kyle, to where, like, immediately afterwards, he's, like, very blatantly coming after Kyle. And like talks to Kyle saying that you insulted me as a man and everything, and like that's just really terrible gameplay to be telling him that to his face. But then also it's like the way he handles the vote itself, where like he's trying to micromanage the votes to like make it how many votes was that at the time? But he wanted to make it like so it was like a 5-4 vote or something like that, or 6-5. I don't remember what the vote numbers actually were. But he wanted to make it like a super close vote so that he can like lie about his vote and then ends up failing at it. And like it's like Kevin literally does the exact same thing 2 weeks later and succeeds at it. Like where like Herman is trying to do what Kevin did during the Tanisha vote, where Kevin is able to get the Tanisha. Actually, it was 6-5 then, right? But because Tanisha vote, he is able to execute a 5-4 vote, and essentially split the house, while and like solidify his alliances. While like Herman tries to do the exact same thing 2 weeks earlier and completely fails at it. And I feel like. Yeah, like I think Herman, like even though he has the right idea about the game, I think he has shown a lot of like game acumen along the way. I do feel like it's probably not all there realistically. So I'm getting a copyright claim for this, but whatever. At least on YouTube, I don't know about Twitch. Should be fine, hopefully. Can you skip this? No, right? Okay. Whatever. You know, I think we will play through the entirety of Walking Dead. Like, just hearing this, it reminds me of the final episode of season 4. It kind of makes me want to at least play through there. We'll see. Yeah, I think that's like a fascinating thing. Again, that's one of the things that like definitely like increased my opinion of the season while writing the script, is like seeing this like battle between Kevin and Herman and their different philosophies at the game. Where like you have Herman playing this like Derek style game of trying to create these power structures and create this alliance with all the people that can win comps so that he can run the game from beginning to end. While you have Kevin, who plays the game more similarly to either Daniel Reyes or like a Dan Giesling, where they're playing kind of the middle and trying to organize these two sides to go after each other. Yeah, it's like it's interesting, like to see these like two radically different approaches to the game on one season. Also see, and it's interesting to see the the Dan style player beat the Derek style player, because I think very rarely does that ever happen. I think most of the time, the Hermans would be able to solidify this power structure and completely run over the Kevins of the world. But the fact that Kevin is able to prevail in this battle is very interesting. Because I don't think it happens very often. I think the season proved that a more under the radar game can still prevail. Yeah, I think it's casting. I think it is casting people who are more dynamic in the game. It's probably because I think the problem with BBUS, I think, comes down to how meta Derek is in BBUS. Where again, I think Derek fundamentally changed the way that people looked at the game. Well, I think from Derek, and then once we see like Paulie try to execute the same strategy, and then BB19 we see Paul actually execute the strategy. BB20 we see Tyler execute a very similar style strategy. The game has been broken. The game, like, we have seen this like more structure based gameplay really dominate modern Big Brother, and the only times like the seasons haven't played out that way are when we get really train wrecky players in like BB21, and even then they try to do it, and they did do it for like half the season, but then the alliance ends up crumbling. And then like cookout, like 23 shouldn't have happened, but like the cookout like end up leading to it happening anyway. But like I think we're coming into BBUS where no, BB17 is not an outlier. Like BB17 had the exact same structure with Vanessa. The problem was that Vanessa was not as stable of a core. Where like the alliance of the what were their names? The Scamper Squad, whatever. The Vanessa, Steve, Austin, Julia, Liz. Like that's a very similar structured alliance. I think and like really they do dominate the game for a while. Like to me, that's the biggest fault of BB17 to me, and I think this is something that like doesn't really get talked about. I think the middle stretch of BB17 is really fucking boring. Like the stretch where we have what was it, like where James and Meg are kind of on the bottom, and then we have Becky going home, we have Johnny Mac going home the first time. For most of the week where Meg ends up going home, really not until like the last like little bit, it becomes more interesting where like Steve and Johnny Mac are like debating on whether or not to flip the vote. But like that stretch of and then the double eviction where James goes home, that stretch of the game is so boring. And like, to be fair, I think part of that comes from like watching it live, where I think watching it live is worse than rewatching it after the fact. But like watching it live and seeing this like steamroll there was just really boring to me. And yeah, the ending is fantastic. The ending of we're talking about Walking Dead, but either way, yeah, ending of Walking Dead is great too. I we were talking about B17, but yeah, the ending of Walking Dead is fantastic. Season 1. I think it's a very like solid, self-contained story, but it also leaves it open for a sequel. And I, for the most part, like season 2. I definitely have issues with the back half of it, or back like 2 episodes. Like I think episodes 1 through 3 are all really good. Oh wait, I need to play. Wait, is 400 Days on the menu? It's not. How do you play 400 Days? It is in here, right? Oh yeah, I think it's here, right? It's like one more button push. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So yeah, it's almost 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm definitely not doing 400 Days tonight. When I do top 25 reality shows where BBCAN10, it'll be up there. I think it'll for sure be in the top 25. Because BBCAN9 was going to be there, and at this point, I'm higher on BB. Like I think BBCAN10 is probably better than BBCAN9. So yeah, BBCAN10 is going to be there. It won't be at the top of the top, I don't think, but I would say like 11 to 20 range if I were to guess. from what you hear of Kevin, he's more into Andy Heron field. Kind of. I think Andy has more control over the game than people give him credit for. And I think Kevin, didn't... Like, the thing about Andy is that Andy's in the background for a lot of the game, but he always has influence over the people that do have control in the game. Where, he's, like, the one to tell Alyssa and Helen to go after Nick. You have him being the one that's, like, in Amanda's ear while she's, like, in the, central position in the game. And then he eventually, like, is the one to actually flip the game by creating the exterminators. Kevin is not really... Kevin starts off the game, again, he's very much under the radar early on, but, not even in the way where, he's having that much direct influence in how the game is playing out, but is, still in a solid position for a lot of it. It's Andy is someone that, and Kevin is someone that, is on the block week 1 and then is a potential target week 2. That is something that Andy was never in. Andy was never in that position. Andy was so well positioned throughout the entire game. There's never a position where Andy goes home. Really throughout that entire season. I think the only point is Final 4 if McRae wins veto. Wait, no, Andy had HOH. Yeah, I mean, they can't vote out Andy there. Andy is... Yeah, I mean, Andy's safe the entire game. There's never a point where Andy can even go home. While with Kevin, again, week 1, he's on the block. There were talks about flipping the vote, though it doesn't end up coming to be. Week 2, if he does get on the block with Jay, the votes were there to vote out Kevin. I do think in retrospect, now that we know that Helena was truly loyal to Kevin and also Jay probably being a bit more sporadic of a player than and also Kevin also being the better player that we know him as. I probably think Kevin still gets out of that. And he does do good work in not getting himself on. He does do good work at managing Marty to where Marty decides to backdoor Betty instead. But so I think that position is something that Andy would never even be in to begin with. And then you have week 3 where again he is doing stuff. He is he is the one to flip over Marty. He's the one that gets Marty to flip on Gino and Kyle, which puts all the blame on the flip onto Marty instead of him. Again, that's all really good work too. But then he doesn't get his way week 4 where he wants to keep Kyle but can't get the votes in order to do it, and also isn't willing to obviously go out of his way to keep Kyle. But he wanted to keep Kyle in the game. He wanted Kyle to stay, but wasn't able to do that. And then week 5 is when he starts having more direct influence and direct control from week 5 on. But again, those first 4 weeks, he doesn't really have that much control in what's going on. While Andy has a lot of agency in those first 2 weeks in particular, where he is a major reason why the game ends up flipping on the moving company. So I would say Andy's definitely if in terms of a win, if Kevin ends up winning the season, Andy is for sure above Kevin to me on a winner ranking. And Kevin would probably be towards where Dan Giesling is, maybe a bit higher. Dan's BB10 game, obviously. I think probably slightly higher, maybe. We'll see. I mean, we'll have to see how these last few rounds play out. But even that, for Dan, again, something that isn't talked about Dan as much is that he almost went home week 5, or not week 5, in the final 5 round, where they got very lucky that Memphis wins that veto at final 5. Where if Memphis does not win that veto, Dan is probably going home there. Because if it's Dan and Keisha on the block, Rennie is voting out Dan. Memphis is voting out Keisha. Jerry would have the tie-breaking vote anyway and would vote out Dan. I mean, unless they were able to convince Jerry to vote out Keisha, which, to be fair, isn't out of the realm possibility. But Dan was definitely in danger at the final 5, which is pretty bad. And then obviously starts the game on the bottom too, where obviously Brian gets turned on. And he does good work to get himself into a power position by the midpoint of the game, but he spends a lot of that game not really not really having direct control over how the game plays out, and is still in danger by the time of the end game. You think Kevin's starting game is the weakest section of his game so far? Yeah. Again, like I think his like first 4 weeks or so, and really his first week is probably the weakest part of his game, because like realistically week 2, and week 2 is like kind of bad but kind of good. Again, like he almost gets put on the block by Marty, but he also like successfully like convinces Marty not to do so. So it's like it's kind of a mixed bag. And then, beyond that, it's like, there's still good moves he's making here and there. Who are Kevin and Helena voting for? I don't know, because I've been streaming. Again, it's going back and forth, which it really shouldn't be. Like, for Kevin, he 100% should be voting out Jace. Yet, for some reason, he's the one that's more confident in voting out Jace than Helena is. Or voting out Josh than Helena is. Which, again, 100% should not be the case. Better runner-up, Dan or Josh from BBAU? I would probably say... I'd probably say Dan played the better, like, game of social strategy across the season. Obviously, Josh, like, has less room to maneuver. There's less rounds. But also, like, I feel like Josh, kind of lays down his sword on a bit at the end there, where like he like actively takes Luke to the end, where Luke is someone that's obviously very likely to win a public vote over him, and also takes like he at the end he like kind of gives up and wants the best people to get to the end. So like that's not really ideal. And also, isn't there a point like early on where like he's not really that much in the majority alliance? Or, like, he's with Luke, but, like, isn't he, like, on the outs during the... Actually, no, he's not on the outs, right? I don't remember anymore. But, like, he didn't want Honor Morosa to go, right? I think he needed Luke, technically, but still. But, yeah, like, Dan's, like, kind of the, like, leader of the majority alliance. And, like, I'm too fair, he does make suboptimal moves along the way also. But I'd probably lean Dan over Josh. But yeah, I think we'll probably call it a night here. Again, what are we? We're like 4.5. Is that right? 4.5 hours? Or 4 hours? Something like that. I think we're around 4 hours in the stream. Either way, we're at 3 o'clock in the morning. Which is typically the point where I like to call it anyway. We're the best 2 Circle US players after Nick. I mean, I think James played a pretty good game. That was his name, right? The winner of Season 3? I think he played a pretty good game for what it was. Joey played a really good game, considering it was the Circle Season 1. Circle Season 2, did anyone play that good of a game? I remember thinking Delisa played a mediocre game. Who was in the Majority Alliance? It was, Chloe... Courtney and River, right? Which, I mean, they were all, fine-ish. Again, I don't know how, actively strategic any of them were. By the end of the game there. Where I think River was kind of just, wanting to go to the end with his friends. Chloe is Chloe. And then... I don't even remember. I barely remember Season 2 at this point. If you were to say, pick 2, I'd probably say James and Joey. I'd probably give those 2 answers there. God damn it, my computer went to standby. Fuck me. Whatever. I think it's probably... Alright, we'll wind things down. So, next stream, obviously I'll do 400 days. We'll probably start Season 2 as well. Obviously it'll be after the next episode of Survivor. So we'll get to talk about that. And I mean, we'll be very close to the eviction for BBCAN, so we'll have a better grasp, hopefully, of who's going home. And I think that's pretty much it. So thank you everyone still here. Again, still, I believe, still one of my most viewed streams. I don't know why. I don't know what the fuck happened today. That even after the crash, I still have, what, 14, 15 people here, so that's something. But, yeah. Thank you for still here. See you guys next time.